They're playing. Okay. I just wanted to take a split second here and give a shout out to Elvin. I think that was you that subscribed. Welcome. And Terry, welcome. Thank you. I don't know who was 49, who was 50. I had a couple unsubscriptions, and that happens. And maybe they went vegan and they were just tired of hearing me talk. I'm hoping that's what it was. I'm hoping they went vegan, or maybe they were just trolls that subscribed. I have a strong feeling that I probably have some subscribers that were just straight up trolls, because I had some trolling on my channel, just a smidge. So, but you never know. Or maybe they just were like, there's way better content than this out there, and that's okay, because I'm not here to win the popularity contest. I'm here to just be as honest and as straightforward as I can, and show you that I'm just really average, and that, we're all just here and we have to do our part individually. And I don't do this because I feel like I'm going to save the world. I do this because it's what needs to be done to save the world. So I have to contribute my part. As long as I'm sucking air here, I have to do what I can and make up for the years that I was completely reckless with my diet, and eating dead bodies and mammary secretion and eggs from chicken butts. That's right, eggs come out of chicken butt. And I was shocked to learn that. But then I was really shocked when I was like, why would it have been better if it came out of her vagina? So, you get to thinking when you learn about where it is all coming from, and you realize the amount of exploitation. All of the animals in animal agriculture are bred into existence by artificial insemination by humans. They are not breeding the animals. Animals will breed once a year, if that. Just because an animal can have, or like a cow, for instance, can have a calf every year, it doesn't mean that she does. So, and these pigs, all artificially inseminated, all of them, and then they will take the babies and slaughter them for the sake of what we call bacon, ham, sausage. The next time you look at bacon or pig meat, remember that pig was not older than 2 years old, unless it was a mother that finally couldn't give babies anymore, so she goes to slaughter. And the mothers, they keep in farrowing crates. So if you hear farrowing crate, that are the metal bars that confine these mother pigs so that they can stand up or just barely lay down. No turning around. So it's on one side or the other like this. That's why her piglets get smushed and killed and stuff like that. And they'll just toss those babies. If you look at slaughterhouse footage, or not even slaughterhouse, excuse me, the farming situation that they're in, no matter what farm you go to, they have to toss the dead ones aside. And you'll see piles and piles of different, dead cows, pigs, chickens, babies. So when we're eating these animals, they are babies. They are not, it's not like these animals are even grown, as if that would make it even better. But any better. With the chickens, they're even younger. If you're eating chicken, if you're eating turkey meat, you're looking at like a 4 to 6 week old bird that you're eating. And in the wild, chickens, well, their wild name is fowl or fowl. Fowl, that's it. Fowl. They were called the fowl. And then we domesticated them and called them chickens. In the wild, the babies stay with their mother for a minimum of 12 weeks under her wing, and she looks after her babies. Chickens sing when they're on their eggs. They coo and they hum. And when their babies hatch, that's how they know their mother from all the other birds. Very similar to why our children, my 2 boys, knew my voice. They were in my body, and they heard me talk and sing to them. And I even read children's books when I was pregnant so they could hear that. And I would talk to them and say their name. Like, they were right here in my arms, even though they were in my belly still. And that's why when they came out, our babies, most come from mama's chest. They want to hear that heartbeat. They want to hear her voice. They hear our breathing. It's the same with the birds. It's the same with the calves. It's the same with the piglets. They are with their mothers. Now, the chicks are in eggs, but their mother's right there with them. So they have this capacity And of course, these chicks in the industry, they don't get to even experience that, because as soon as the mother in the cage, as later egg, it comes out, goes down a trough, and it's over, it's done. And those that they also breed the chickens, to lay the eggs when they hatch, and they find the males. They distinguish them by their tail feathers. There's a difference in their little tail feathers. I can't remember specifically what, but they're on an assembly line, and it's a conveyor belt, and people are in their hazmat suits, and they're sorting through them, and they toss females over their shoulder into these buckets, and when the crate's full, someone comes and takes them. They'll cage them up and get them ready to be inseminated, or I mean, not inseminated, just have them lay eggs, or they'll inseminate some to get eggs for more chickens artificially. And as the eggs have hatched, and they're sorting the babies, the conveyor belt keeps going, and the male chicks just go right over the edge into a shredder, a fucking shredder. And I've seen this played in slow motion. And I've heard people say that it's just real quick. Well, just real quick. How about you switch situations? Just imagine some other species, more intelligent than us, okay, stronger than us, yeah, and able to confine us, took our women and impregnated them, and took our babies and put them on the conveyor belt. As soon as the woman birthed it onto the conveyor belt, they just sorted them through. And males were just left, little baby boys left on the conveyor belt with their umbilical cords still attached. And girls were just hucked over the shoulder and put into crates and then wheeled off. And these babies, human beings, went down into a shredder. Into a fucking shredder. Now, would we feel the same way about it? No. And for anybody who says, well, that's extreme, like, that doesn't make sense, a higher species, well, ding, 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 we are the more intelligent species, per se, doing this, afflicting this pain on these animals, breeding them into existence, exploiting their sexual organs, forcing the mother hens to lay eggs to the point where their legs are breaking, their wings are breaking. They give so much calcium to make the shell of the egg from their own body that they become weak and ill. And they're already genetically engineered to have a predisposition for diseases, because we engineer all the animals to breed and faster and live shorter lives. I don't know like the exact, but we alter them. We alter these animals even to where they look a certain way. They grow to a certain size. That's what it is. We alter them so they grow faster. And because they grow so fast, literally they get too big for themselves and their organs kill them. Like they're just too big. It's like, imagine a baby being born and then forcing it to grow the size of a 3-year-old in 6 weeks. Major problems. So that's why they die from reproductive diseases, because of the way they're altered. So this is a wicked industry that we are partaking in if you're not vegan. It is wicked. And on top of it all, it takes the most massive, I have to plug in here, it takes the most massive toll on our environment. Animal agriculture is killing our planet. Fossil fuels are killing our planet. Nitrous oxide being spewed into the environment is killing us. It's increasing the nitrous. Since 2000, we're seeing a rise. That's the report from the last COP25 there in Chile from the climate scientists. Okay, so we're not seeing any reduction in emissions here in the U.S. at all. Increase. So we're fanning the fire here, and we are paying for the Amazon rainforest to be cut down and burned for the sake of keeping livestock or growing food there, soybeans, legumes, palm oil that we could put in products that we don't need. It's genocide. There are indigenous people that live in those forests, and they don't have that anymore. Those really, those people, most innocent people, and the best people, living off of the land, living off of the earth, they played no role in what is happening right now. And of course, the ones that are most innocent are the first to suffer. The poor families and along the coastal lines, and the mega drought in Africa that's being worsened by the climate crisis, the flooding and monsoons in India, babies with no homes. 1,000 children every day are dying because of this climate crisis. 20,000 children a day die from starvation. and 820 million people altogether are hungry around the world. That's why Extinction Rebellion was on the hunger strike and in the UK, in front of their government's door for over 21 days without eating, and didn't even get a meeting with them. This is the danger that we are in. The UK is leading the way for this movement, and their government isn't even on board. But the people there are just thriving. That's where Extinction Rebellion came from, Animal rebellion. That's where we see the real mass movement. And we see it here in the US, but not like the UK. So we're doing a lot, but our government isn't changing. And so I've decided I'm going to do everything I can anyways. And that starts with liberating animals and in turn helping our planet and fighting the climate crisis. But first and foremost for me, it is the animals. That is why I'm here. I am opposed to animals being artificially inseminated, all of them, so that we can eat their bodies. And I am opposed to fish being ripped out of the sea, crabs, shrimp, clams, oysters, all of it. Why? That's a delicate ecosystem that needs to be left as is. That is evolution, millions of years of evolution, perfected to filter that ocean and keep it alive. Every single living organism in that ocean serves a purpose so we can filter the air and have a lush, rich planet. And what the fuck are we doing? We're going and we're ransacking the seas to get the lobsters and the crabs, and we're running huge nets to get all the shrimp. And if we get a dolphin, we just slit their throat too. I've seen the footage. People are even eating dolphins, eating sharks. Those fish, those creatures, we're not even meant to eat them anymore because we live in a time when we don't have to, number one. They have cholesterol, they have mercury, they're not healthy for us anyways. And they are there for the creatures that live in the ocean. If we destroy the coral reef like we are, we see it dead and gray. When we see the oceans acidifying like they are right now, that is the earth saying, guess what, humans? Your time is up and you're taking every fucking species down with you. So we have to change. We have to change. Our ice sheet is 70% gone, our Arctic ice sheet. The permafrost around the world is melting. The oceans are the warmest they have ever been, and they are becoming acidic. Species, over 200 species a day are going extinct. That ranges from plants to insects to mammals to other animals. We are in danger. We are in such danger. Australia is blazing. Back in 2014, when I began my climate journey, 2012, but in 2014, I remember the climate scientists saying, this was it. We are going to see the fires. We are going to be burning. There will be droughts. We are in climate change. They weren't calling it a crisis then. We are seeing climate change. And we sat around, a few years went by, 6 years went by. Here we are, 6 years later. I listened to I can't remember his name, gosh darn it, but he was a 95 or 98-year-old climate scientist. And he said, well, my advice is to get to high land. He said, if we don't change, that's all we can do is, and he was saying because our oceans will be rising. We are here. We are in the midst of it. We are in the beginning stages of it. And we have a tiny little sliver, window of time to change. But the goddamn government isn't changing. This Exxon and Shell and Chevron and Chase Bank, the leading funder of the banks, all the banks are corrupt, funding this fracking and pipelines and oils, but Chase gives the most, billions of dollars to fund this. They are fanning the fire, and we have to come together as people. We have to stop using it, and then we need to join with Extinction Rebellion and other people who know what they're doing, and so we can turn this around and shut it down. There is no government official that is above the rights of our children to have clean air and clean water. There is no law that is not worthy of being broken if it is harming our entire planet and our future. The science is there. This isn't some hoo-hoo, ha-ha, let's all get psyched out and turn on each other psycho shit. This is, let's get logical. Let's realize that the science is there. Let's realize that nature gives us the ecosystem we need. And when we're cutting down the rainforest, when we're mass breeding animals, when we're mass slaughtering, when we're eating food that causes cancer, getting on pharmaceutical pills, when we are in the hospitals getting sicker and sicker instead of eating vegan food and becoming stronger and healthier, As long as we are doing this, we are not going to survive. And so we have to stand up and say, no, these laws are wrong, and we're not going to sit by and abide. Better go. That sounds pretty bad. But anyways, thank you for your subscriptions. I'm glad you're here. I kind of went on a little rant, but I just wanted to kind of put it in there. I know other people might watch this, so I always try and get a message in. And I'm really pushing hard now because I watched Roger Hallam, the co-founder of Extinction Rebellion, give a talk the other day at the World Web Forum 2020, and just got me real revved up and reminded me that this is fucking fight for life. And I usually don't cuss a lot and get like this, but this is what comes out of me, and it comes in waves. I do music too, you know, like I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow just the other night. You guys check that out if you want to. And that was, you know, the peace and the love that I want the animals to have. That's what I projected through my voice to the best of my ability when I was singing that. So anyways, you'll see I'm doing some rapping. I'm doing my Naked Vegan. I like to have fun, but I want to remain clear that I am here for the animals. I'm here for animal liberation. I'm here to fight the climate crisis, and I'm here for you so that you have a support system. It helps me to talk to you. I like to hear back from you. Shout out to everybody talking to me and asking questions when they have them. I do my best to answer them, and if I don't know the answer, I try and find resources or I recommend resources. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm always going to be here until we liberate this planet and we stop the climate crisis. Please, please, please. Or until it fucking comes down to social collapse and war and pain and suffering and starvation and drought and flooding and water contamination. Until it comes down to either or, I am fighting. And I, even though it is very grim and a very slim chance that we have because the power that we are giving the government, there is a slim chance. I'm still not giving up. There's still hope. Okay, there's always still hope. As long as we're alive and we're breathing, we fight for it. And the great thing about fighting, I'm getting a little emotional here, is that our courage and fighting for it till the end, if we get to the point where it's real bad, our children will see us fighting for them, and they will feel safe and comforted as long as we're fighting for them, as long as we live every day like we're still going to make it and we're fighting and we're not giving up. We can give them that security if it comes down to that point. Or we can show them the rewards of fighting and being strong and brave, and they can come into a new world that almost went down and then came back because of what? Humanity coming to our senses and using our intelligence in the right way. We've got to change. We really have to. I'm talking to everybody, and we need to tell our government in any way possible. And it starts with the actions that we do every day, because that's what we have the most power over. So go vegan. Stay tuned. Ask me any questions you have. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. Thank you to anybody who just watches this. This is all love right now for you. Okay? Go vegan. So much love. I've got to go check on my precious little chitlins. They're going nuts.